After Aeneas has arrived in Cumae in Book 6, he has made his prayers and invocation of the Sibyl, and here begins her reply. By and large, this passage is very straightforward in its grammar there and syntax. There are a few places where I'll try to help you out with, but on the whole, I think you'll be able to make it through this pretty easily. Let's begin, though, with just a couple of details. With the sate and the anchisiade, just note those are vocatives, please. Those are vocatives, as the Sibyl is directly addressing Aeneas with that. The passage here is pretty famous. Facilis decensus Averno. The descent is easy. What's difficult is that part. And she says right there, hoc opus hic laborest. This passage right here, pauci through potuera, is the part I'd like to talk you through first of all. Um, Pauci, just referring generally to some heroes whom either Jupiter, Aequus Jupiter, has amated, or those the Ardanes Virtus, which has awexited them ad aetera. This is essentially referring to those demigods whose actions on earth have been so laudable that they've been elevated to the heavens. So a few, they were able to do this, which is what Aeneas has requested, to descend to Avernus. A few, geniti dis, having been born from the gods. So that's what's happening in that particular passage. Then Sybil goes on to explain a little of the layout of the underworld. Here, si tantos, si tanta. That anaphora actually is rather striking and recalls back to something Creusa had said. Um, Not every day does someone try to descend to the underworld, and the Sibyl, in a little bit of disbelief here, finally, after qualifying everything, says, if this is the case, then accipe quae per agenda prius, the things which must be done first. And at this point in the passage, she proceeds to explain to Aeneas that there is an aureus ramus, aureus both in foliis and with a lento vimine. It is said to be sacer to this person, inferna unoni, and you're going to have to look hard to find it, she says. Okay? So before the lower world will open up for you to subir beneath, you have to decarpserit this thing. Ferry here is the passive infinitive. That should clarify if there are any troubles with that particular line. Following here, you have primo avulso as an ablative absolute. Tells you what happens if there's another hero who wishes to find said same aureus ramos. Okay. Therefore, the Sibyl says, Vestiga. This is an imperative. Vestiga highly with your oculis, and rite here is also an adverb, and rightly with it found, and this is modifying ramos, the branch. Here's what you do. You carpe it with your manu. And if and only if the fates do indeed call you, something will happen. Otherwise, if you are not destined to pick this golden branch, you shall never be able to, not even with those means. Seemingly on a dime, then, the Sibyl catches Aeneas unaware and concludes her speech with this very grim announcement. Honescus, oh, you don't know this, but an ex animum corpus of an amici tibi jacet, and it has some serious consequences. So while you are here, this is the second person singular verb, while you are doing this, and while you are doing this on my limine, understand male for nostro there, this has happened. Here's our command, refer, report this back, and conde a sepulcro. Perform the proper sacrifices, duc nigras pecudes. And sunto here, do pay attention to what your book tells you about sunto. It's reserved as an imperative for very ritualistic and legalistic contexts. And so these four words here essentially mean, let these be the first sacrifices. Okay? So then at last, she says, in the future tense, you will aspicies, lukos digiis, and the regna, this is neuter plural, take these three words in this order, and you will see the regna, which are in via to those who are wiwis. And that is the end of Sybil's speech.